What is going on, everyone? Ryan with ChatbotBuilder.ai here with some quick updates and maybe a little tutorial action going on. How are y'all doing? First of all, shout out to all the new subscribers. We appreciate you so much. It's been great to hear your stories, those that have reached out so far. Man, I'm learning this year. YouTube is such a powerful tool. Coming from the Facebook ads background, um, I've spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of client money over the past 10 years to reach people on Facebook and Instagram. So I absolutely know how powerful this stuff is. But I've never had major luck on YouTube. And this year it's been totally different. I actually attribute this to obviously the hot topic of Chat GPT. So I'm going to start this out by encouraging specifically all of you new users of the tool and those of you that are using other tools but are just in the space. I highly recommend get your videos out there, even if it's the simplest form of you demonstrating how much you know about AI or chatbots or conversational design. I think it's so important that you get those timestamps out there so that a year from now or 10 years from now, you can say, yeah, look back at the YouTube video archives of 2023, right when Chat GPT was kind of taking over the world. Yeah, I've got videos of me doing this or that. That is going to absolutely help you. It cannot hurt you in any way. I just can't see any negative there. Um, I also know there has been a handful of our users who have taken this advice and now they are the king or queen of AI in their country or their city or their town or their niche. And I think that's what we're going to do today. We're gonna bring it back to the dentist bot for the tutorial today. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to integrate Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to show you. Let's see. We're going to show you guys how to make an appointment with only AI. This is going to be a big one. I'm going to show you the difference between a rule-based chatbot flow to make an appointment versus all AI. I think that'll be a big one. Shout out to everyone on YouTube, though. We just hit 4,000 subscribers. I cannot believe that. And again, I'm not a YouTuber, far from it. I'm a bot builder, baby. And that's who this content is for. People who want to build bots either for themselves, for their businesses, or for their clients. Also, another big shout out to all of the recent agency owner plan sign uppies, subscribers. You guys, it'll probably be a few years from now until you look back and realize just how powerful you really are to be able to just generate money out of thin air, essentially. We will probably have to, and I know I'm going to get some hate for this. We're probably going to have to limit the agency plan after this month for new signups. I didn't anticipate so much interest. I mean, I know we've since day one have had a lot of you guys asking for this, and originally we kind of brushed it off, thinking, "Oh well, there's not going to be enough demand for that," or we have to price it correctly for it to make sense for everyone. And I guess I just massively misjudged just how much people would want this. So we've got some other solutions coming up in the pipeline that can accommodate some requests, but we will have to eventually limit this thing if it keeps going the way it does. It's just more than anticipated. Leave it at that. I'm at 4,000 subscribers. That's huge. This tells me that the prediction of the interest in AI and chatbots for businesses is only going to increase. Zuckerberg, he just launched the AI chatbot experiences that are on Instagram and Facebook now through celebrity lookalikes. They're not impersonators. They'll tell you that. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. It's interesting stuff. We'll put a blog about that out. And maybe we'll do some comparison bots that we create versus multi-billion-dollar revenue Meta. We'll see whose bots are better. I think we all know what the answer is going to be there. But let's see. What else do we've got? I'll also talk about there's been a request for essentially fixing a bad user conversational etiquette problem where a user might message your bot and say, "Hey, I have a question." and then immediately follow it up with another message that's just a question mark. And while it doesn't annoy me so much, there have been a handful of you, by that maybe under 10, but there have been quite a few of you that have reached out to me directly and asked for a solution here. And so we've created one. It's very easy. It's prompt chaining, and it's super easy, super powerful, and you can apply this concept in many different ways throughout your bot. I will try to check the chat to see if anyone has any questions or requests. Um, the queen of bots, what's going on? And yes, the AI scheduling tool is down. So I'll show you the AI scheduling tool. This is gonna like the AI scheduling tool that we've created. It's never been revealed before until today. This could be sold to any business that has a phone line, like period. The value's immediate, and the value's immense. It's a lot more than just answering the calls. The data that you can collect from just this one channel is insane. I mean, the fact that you can, even if you have a traditional phone system set up with our tool, press 1 for this, press 2 for that, press 3 for this, just the fact that at the end of the month, you could know, well, how many people called in for a sales request versus a service request. And if it's a, huge, you know, one way or the other, then you could make some business adjustments that could help. Maybe you do need to hire more in the sales department if you're getting more sales calls, for example. Or maybe you don't need that. If you were thinking you needed a salesperson, but you saw on the call logs that, oh crap, what in the last 30 days, 10% of the calls have been for sales. I guess I don't need a salesperson. If you're a consultant or an agency, this is exactly the type of information that you can get super fast now that in the past could take an entire year. And hence that consultant, they'd had a gig for a year as they are, you know, gathering this information and then charging them on a monthly basis or however they've managed it. You're like essentially, moving that consultant aside, saying, okay, we can just figure this out with AI and automation, and we can do it in like 30 days. You can use AI, by the way, with your AI summary flow that's included in all your accounts to handle this research for you, by the way. Like, this is what we are doing for some customers right now. Every single call that is coming in, it is being recorded, then it is being summarized. Then we're taking the end of that summarization and we're using it to, all through AI, provide recommendations to make the next conversation better. This is kind of what people have asked about as far as, automatically making your bot better. While you could technically achieve this, at this point in time, it's still gonna, in my opinion, at least, require some human eyeballs on whatever it is that you're working with. So you can have all the recommendations in the world, but sometimes you've got ultimately got to be the one to say, okay, this is a good recommendation or not. But we'll get into all that in just a bit. What is going on? I'm loving to see the chat. People in there. What's up, Bridget and Alvin? You guys are awesome. So let's get right into it. I want to share my screen here and let's pop open a new tab here. And if you guys have questions, definitely just try to pop them in here and I will try to do my best to answer them. Let's do the entire screen and share. Alrighty then. So if you need me to turn the volume up or down, just let me know. I'll try to take care of that. So the first thing that we'll do, there's one more announcement I missed. We are an official Meta business partner. That's awesome. This means that we've passed some of the most stringent qualifications. There are 3 main qualifications. I won't talk about them, but they're hard to achieve. And we finally got the approval there. So we have a little blog post about that. And I noticed in my little cheat sheet here, that was one of the last things I needed to talk about that I missed. But let's focus on what we're doing now. We're going to run, this is a brand new account essentially, but I have connected on this AI dentist bot. I've connected a Facebook page. I've connected Twilio for text messaging and Twilio for voice chatbot capabilities. Now, I will say the next video that I'm going to do, I'm totally going to have to include audio codes, which is our other telephone integration. Y'all, let me tell you something. the voices and the speed in which audio codes provides their API calls for us immensely better than Twilio. I'm sorry. Audio codes doesn't allow you to text message. So the downside is you're not going to have a unified number for text messaging and phone calls. If that's what you desire, that's going to be very difficult. Instead, you'd have to use Twilio for texting and audio codes for phone. But oh man, I've not given audio codes enough credit. They're kicking Twilio's booty. But either way, they're both still best in class, like legit in the world right now, integration. So like, what can we say right now? We're just pushing technology to the limit. But I've connected these 3 channels. The channel that I'm going to connect next, because there's just been a lot of videos on YouTube about this integration, is Instagram. And it is super duper easy. I just clicked over to channels, and here are all of our available integrations for now. And we've got a little connect button here. We just tap that connect button, and we don't need to click anything. The system's going to understand, because we've already connected our Facebook page, which is essentially required. Even if you plan on not using the Facebook page, your Instagram account, which is a business account, must be, thank you, Bridget, for the congrats. It must be connected to your Facebook page, business page. Okay. If they're not connected, this will not work. So let's click edit, because right before I jumped on, I emailed a new user, shout out to you. But they're having trouble connecting to their Instagram. They saw the page, which you will see the page as long as you're able to connect here. You'll see the page, just hit next, right? And you can look, this had a, let's take a look at this closely. First, we're choosing the Instagram, boom, and then which page. So they're going to be connected. This is a big disconnect that we've seen. Your Instagram page, Facebook business page must be connected, okay? And then you click next. Now, you're not going to have this warning label here, because this is for me, the admin of the application. We are going for some new permissions we should have approved here shortly. But all of these permissions, you must enable. This is just allowing your accounts to talk to our app, and for you to control our app to do things on behalf of your page, your Instagram or your Facebook. But if you do not enable all of these, then it just won't work. It just won't fully connect, and it won't do all the things you want it to do. So the connection there is because now we are a Meta business partner officially in their directory. Shout out Meta. You should feel totally good about connecting and giving all the permissions here. We don't do anything with this. It's only for your abilities. And I can tell you, not all of the big applications out there are certified and verified on Meta's directory. So here I can see this is the page that I want to use. I've changed the name a couple of times, so it's not appearing here, but this is the photo of the dentist office. We'll click connect. And so now the platform is going to do all the work for you. I saw some videos today where someone is explaining that there was a platform out there that required some code or some creation of a Meta or Facebook, Instagram app in order for the automation on their side to work. That is not the case with us. As you can see, it's essentially just one click. Boom. Now our Facebook page is connected to our Instagram account. We've also got, again, the phone number for text messaging and phone calls. Side note, another kind of a sad bummer in a way. I just got the email today that Twilio on November 7th, I believe, now they're going to pull the hammer down on the toll-free numbers. So before, where they've just implemented these new rules in the US, at least, where you must have your number verified in this ridiculous regulation red tape that could take up to a week, 2 weeks, a month. The way around that has been just use a toll-free number. And for example, my area code's 843. The toll-free numbers that I've been using for any local needs has been 844. This was a toll-free number, but it doesn't look too much different, and no one really cares as long as the messaging is valuable. But anyways, so you've got your channels here. Now, here's what we're going to do next. Let's see if I've done it already on this account. As I was testing, I have. So I'm just going to disconnect to show you how to reconnect. So when you create your account, the analytics page is essentially your home page, right? Here are all your channels that you can connect, that you've connected with. And the next thing that we want to do in our case is probably going to be connect to a calendar, because if we're a dentist office, our main deal is going to be making appointments. So to connect to your Google or Microsoft calendar, again, just basically one click. We'll choose my email I want to use. It's going to ask for permission for our app to do things that you tell it to do. You say okay, and it's good to go. And you'll know that you're connected when you see the email address associated here. So what this is going to do is when an appointment is made, this will send out the notifications that I've defined, as well as create a new event on my calendar where the appointment was set, which is so awesome. This is what some other standalone calendar software does. You have it built in. Okay. This is hello upsell. I get questions all the time about how much to charge for a chatbot. And the reason that question is it's not difficult to answer. It's just not possible to answer without more detail. To make a chatbot just answer questions has got to be one price. Call that your basic FAQ standalone low price bot, whatever. Low effort on your part, low reward on your part. If instead of just that basic FAQ, you said, okay, you know what? Let's make this thing gangster. Let's go ahead and allow it to make appointments. Okay, this is people replacing technology at this point, but that's where the money is. This is the dark side of AI, unfortunately. But when the AI that you've trained and built and you've customized for a client can do more, it is going to be worth more. The smartest way to do this, if you can achieve this, is to have a commission built in. So, for example, you are answering 100 questions a week that are coming in from phone calls or from the Facebook Messenger or from Instagram. That's value number one. But then say you've booked XYZ patient. Okay, this is big time commission possibility here if the business is open to it, which in most cases they will be. That becomes interesting. We're making a commission off of a new patient payment. That's a big deal. You can track all that stuff now. All right, so cool. We've connected to our Google Calendar. The next thing that I want to do is we're going to make our calendar. And so to do that, we're going to go to our tools section here, and we're going to come down to appointment scheduling. I'm going to delete the calendar that I was playing with earlier. So now it's going to look just like your page. We're going to add a calendar, and we're going to call this Dr. Ryan. How do you like that? Dentist Ryan, Dr. Dentist. This is where you can include some information. You could just say basic teeth cleaning. This might be the only thing I offer as a dentist, maybe. I'm a specialized teeth cleaner dentist guy. All right. And now I'm going to choose when I can book. Let's say we'll say 9. Let's go 8. Let's go 8 a.m. and then so 1. Let's go down. How about 17? Now let's say 9 to be safe. Just because in case we run into traffic, you know what I'm saying? How are y'all doing today? We're gonna just make this calendar here. And this is going to be important to understand what's actually happening. You can customize this in many different ways. You could give yourself a lunch break if you want to. I'm just going to ride on right through lunch because Dr. Ryan, he's about it. He's not trying to take no breaks. He's trying to see all the patients and clean all the teeth. So his calendar is open from 9 to 5 all day. One more. You know what? Actually, we're going to take off on Fridays. Dr. Ryan is off on Fridays. So I just deleted that appointment that was available by default and hit save. So now you can see that my availability as Dr. Ryan is going to be 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Now, when will this happen? This is going to be in person. And so I've got to include my address. So here's my address, 5 Mill Street, Hilton Head. All right. Now, this is interesting for you to note. The notifications, we have 3 notifications that are 3 different flows that are built in upon creation to help you. Because I know some of you are just not going to take that next step to build this, and you're just going to let that appointment ride, which is fine. but you're going to appreciate the built-in notifications, and notice you've got the ability to add as many notifications as you'd like, however you'd like them to come in. This is very important to understand. This could be an email, that could be a text message, could be an Instagram message or Facebook message, whatever you want. But we've got 3 built in for you, which you can obviously manipulate and change. And then we've got our restriction screen here. So this is saying how long the appointments are. We should have your time zone correct by default. And this is going to give you some additional rules. So maybe I don't want more than 2 appointments in a day. Now, if someone was to book bam, bam, right in the morning, 2 appointments booked up, even if I had more availability, that 3rd appointment would not be allowed to be made. And let's add some time to our event. Let's call it like 15 minutes to like catch a breather after we've just like word vomited everywhere for 30 minutes with whoever we're talking to, right? As the doctor, as dentist Ryan. So we're not talking, we're cleaning teeth, not word vomiting. Let's hit save and let's enable this calendar. It's already enabled. Great. So Dr. Ryan calendar is made. Now what we're going to do. Now remember, this is a brand new account. We've just connected channels. That's it. We need to create our knowledge base. How to create a knowledge base. This is very, very easy. We've probably made it the easiest in the game. In this case, we're going to go to integrations and we're going to go to OpenAI, ChatGPT Tizzle, and we're going to click on edit. Okay, right now it says you're a helpful assistant that is an appointment booking bot. What we want to do is maybe search for dentist in New York City. All right. And so let's just find like the top listing in New York City. So let's look at 209 NYC Dental. They got 1,500 reviews. Holy cow. Let's see what they've got cooking. We'll go to their website here. They have a pretty old school looking website, but we've got a bunch of information right here on their homepage. And for me, to make this quick, I'm going to just hit Command A, Command C. Let's open up Chat GPT and let's use GPT-4 for this. And I'm going to say, create a chatbot knowledge base using the following information. All right, boom. So this is all the text from the homepage of the website. It's still like listening to me type. Is grabbing all this stuff here. We're gonna like where it says quick navigation. Obviously, we're skipping that. That's useless. It's funny that GPT-4 has shown that before. I can pretty much 3 months ago, I could pretty much guarantee that would not be there. Disappointing. This also is special because the links are useless for us for in this purpose. And so we're gonna probably refine this one more time. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab this here and go here. So I'm going to say, now condense the following text and ensure that the format is a logical chatbot knowledge base for this dentist office. All right, cool. I bet this is going to be better. And then let's grab the URL here. That's an important one. Let's see. It's not going to even know. Yeah, see, it's not going to know the URL. It'll know the other stuff. And so now it's just going to run through again. We don't need those quick access links. I'm going to say, add in the website URL. And then I think we'll be done. This will get us through so that at least we'll be able to ask some questions and make sure that we're seeing everything as we should. Obviously, you can add more, but you don't necessarily have to. We could add more things about their services, but what we'll do is we'll add some things about Ryan, Dr. Ryan, and his calendar, which will serve us better. So let's go here, and we'll grab this information first. Copy, paste there. We'll grab their promise, and we'll see if it'll extract their promise correctly. Let's see. So I think all that's good there. So this is a super, super condensed knowledge base. We're going to paste this here. Very, very, very condensed. Here's what we'll do. This place is called 209 NYC Dental. You are the extremely friendly and smart AI chatbot for 209 NYC Dental, a premier dentist office located in New York. Your goal is to answer questions from customers who engage with you on the website, in the inboxes of social media channels like Facebook and Instagram, as well as phone calls. All right. And then I'm going to say, I keep forgetting it's like constantly recording. So I'll say, your number one priority is to assist the user and get them to confirm if they would like an appointment with Dr. Ryan. If they do, you must collect their full name, email, and phone number along with the reason for the appointment. Period. You are not permitted to provide any available appointment slots until all of the required contact information is provided from the user. All right. So sorry, I sounded like a robot there, but I'm a lot faster that I am thinking and speaking than I am typing. But I will say I'll have ChatGPT to optimize the following text and paste. So we should have something optimized here. Leading dental office, this looks good. Your primary objective is to assist users to determine if they'd like to schedule. All right, cool. So that should be good. I'm going to copy this. Boom. That's great. I think that should be all we need for now. So let's go ahead and hit continue. We're going to remove this booking appointment trigger. And we'll just hit continue. Let's bring our temperature down to about 2. I like it there. All right, so our knowledge base is good. Now I did go ahead and make a trigger for this, but I'm going to delete it so I can make one together with you guys. But first, let's make some conversation happen. Let's go to our flows and let's make a new welcome message. Welcome message. And so we've got our canvas here and we've got our default block. Let's just click into our block and let's do this. Let's add a text element and we'll just say, hello there, how can we help you? Okay, so this is a static block. It's going to say the same thing every time. Let's hit the preview icon and let's use web chat. And so we'll get, hello there, how can we help you? Let's say this. Let's say, where are you located? And it's going to give us the location. We're located at 209 East 56th Street. So that's great. Perfect. Let's make sure that this is working well for the phone that we've connected as well. The one thing to remember about the phone channel is when you go to your settings and then channels, we must have a welcome message set here or it will fail. We just made a new welcome message, which is here. So now it's going to be the same welcome message no matter where the user is contacting this dentist office from. It's going to always be the same welcome message. Let's click save and analytics here. And let's hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I'll call the number. One way you could do this is fun. Any channel that you click, we're going to give you a link and a QR code, but I can just pop that open.
Hello there, how can we help you?
I want to know where you are located, please.
We are located at 209 East 56th Street, first floor, New York, New York 10022.
What's the name of your doctor or dentist there?
The dentist at 209 NYC Dental is Dr. Ryan. He is highly skilled and experienced in providing top-notch dental care.
All right, so I didn't even know that about myself. Thanks, ChatGPT Tizzle. It's okay to laugh. Now, here's some interesting stuff. And if you really, really are about that data life, if you want to be a data OG like me, you'll see this and like start jumping up and down. And really, it's just caller ID, but you're going to be ecstatic and happy because it's going to help you understand your customers even better, which is going to generate more brand loyalty, revenue, trust, and overall positivity, baby. Do you see what is going on right here? Do you see this, guys? This is essentially caller ID, but it is good. It knew my number here, it's check marked, the local time, when I became a contact, so a minute ago, the country, state, and the city, all based on the phone number. And if I'm an agent, call center agent turned inbox manager, because that's what's going to happen here, I can easily just click and modify information as needed or add information as needed. Okay. So this is very, very important. I also have the ability to now send a text message because I'm using the same channels here for the phone, or excuse me, the same phone number for both the text messaging channel and the phone channel. I can easily say, hey, and now I'm going to get the text message on my phone, hey, in which I can easily respond to, yo. And so now you're going to see the yo for my message here. So this is like the ultimate inbox. Find an inbox that's better. Find one, I dare you. Don't even try to do it because it don't even exist. I'll save you the time. All right, so that's all fine and dandy, but I thought you were going to show me how to book stuff, Ryan. Let's do that next. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go to our settings section, and we're going to go to integrations, and we're going to go to Chat GPT Tizzle, baby. And we're going to make us a Chat GPT trigger again. For those of you that are newer here, if you've ever used Chat GPT's plugins, okay, what is happening here is different than just a regular Chat GPT text response. What's happening here, if you use a plugin, for example, you know what? Well, I was going to have to show you right now. I'm all about that life. But basically, what happens is, if I have a plugin enabled for YouTube video summarizers, right? I could say, okay, ChatGPT, here's the YouTube link. Summarize it for me in a way that makes everything concise, and it's the breakdown. So what ChatGPT will do is it'll understand, okay, plugin enabled, check. User submitted the thing, check. Is there a YouTube link? Because that's what this plugin calls for. If there is, now we've got to do what the instructions are. So it's basically 2 API calls happening at once. Sometimes it feels like it's more than that, but it's basically not only giving you a text response, but it's doing something beforehand to make that text response happen, other than just like its general compute. Just extracting the YouTube text, summarizing it, and then giving it back to you. That's why it takes a while. It's a lot slower if you've ever used a plugin on ChatGPT. If you're using the API as a developer, this is called a function call. We use this and have packaged it up for you to make things easy so you don't have to know any code. ChatGPT triggers. And so we're going to make a new one right now. And so what you've got to understand is every single word in this window is going to be massively important, because basically what we are doing is we're taking your words based on the structure that we've provided. We're restructuring that for you to make it work in code for the API function call to actually work. It's insane that you can do this with just natural language, but you can. And so that's what we'll do here. What we're going to do is we're going to label this book. Let's use lowercase as a good practice. Book appointment. Okay. What does the trigger allow us to do? I usually start with the word allows. It's going to allow the user to book an appointment with Dr. Ryan. Okay. And what data do we need to collect? We need the user's full name, we need the user's email, user's phone number, user's reason for appointment. All right. And so now we've got to match these parameters up that we've just created. We've got to match them up with the field here. And so let's go with full name. We'll go with email, phone number. I already created the reason for the appointment. I believe the request, what do we want to call this? Reason, we'll call it AI appointment. And then we do need one more thing here. This is going to be the calendar, the user's reason for the appointment, right? The reason for the appointment. And then we're going to save this under the calendar. This is the calendar that we created in the tools section. All right. So the AI appointment is a date and time field. This is going to enable this book on calendar. You're only going to see this if you have the date enabled. Let me just show you what this actually means. We're going to delete this guy. Let's show you really how this has got to be done perfectly, because this will cause a lot of headache for everyone. We're going to need to create a special custom field to accommodate a trigger that needs to use, or that is going to be used for an appointment. So let's just call this date. This is going to be representative of the date that they've requested for their appointment. So the type must be date and time. Let's make a description here. This is the date of the appointment request. Okay. We're going to start over on our trigger. We needed to make that very, very clear. AI appointment was achieving this, which is why it worked, but that was not going to be clear to you guys. So we just made a duplicate, or we made a new custom field, and this is going to be for date and time. So let's go back to our settings and back to our integrations and into the trigger zone, ChatGPT triggers. We're going to click add again. It's going to be book appointment. If I can spell, book appointment. It's going to allow the user to book an appointment with Dr. Ryan. Why am I saying this specifically? Because what if there's two doctors? If there's two doctors, you're going to name this probably book appointment with Dr. Ryan, first of all, at the top, but you're definitely going to want to include it here. So that way the system would know which calendar to use. So the data to collect, let's again make this users full name, users email, users phone number, users let's say date. And this, guys, is what is going to be what causes us to have that calendar slot choice availability. Okay. So now we've created the parameters that we want to extract. This is essentially entity extraction. And now we've got to match them up to the custom fields that are going to store in the system for permanent memory. So full name, email, phone. These three things are system fields that are built into your account. We did all that hard work for you. The date is the thing that you're going to have to define here. It's going to be date. So we're just saying the date is going to be the date, which is the custom field that we just made. It's specific to this calendar. Okay. Now we can see that the book on calendar field is now appeared. And so whenever ChatGPT's API sees the date, it is going to do a lot of complex things. It's going to check the availability based on your calendar that you've already connected, and also that you don't have any other restrictions prohibiting that booking from happening. So we've got date here. Now that's all that's left is to choose the calendar. And so Ryan's the choice. When everything is all set, we can give a output message of thanks for choosing our office, our dentist office. right? After the appointment's made, maybe, right? So we've got book appointment is the name, allows the user to book an appointment with Dr. Ryan, user's full name, user's email, phone number, and date. Continue. So I can see here is the book appointment trigger. I'm going to go back to our integrations here, OpenAI, and we're going to click edit. And all we want to do here is enable the book appointment trigger. And so now we should be able to make an appointment in multiple ways. So here, I'm going to make sure you guys see all of this really good. And I'll check the chat, our chat here in a minute. So you can see here, I hope, let's make this a little bit skinnier. Let's go to the inbox. The inbox is so handy. By the way, guys, if you've not used a chatbot builder program on your phone because the current platform you're using doesn't work on the phone, it is life-changing, let me tell you. You can actually use our application as a native application, or it's a web application. Just save it on your device, save it to your home screen. You're going to be forced to log in one more time, but then it's going to function just like you've downloaded it off the App Store. You can get the browser or the push notifications, which is really nice. You've got the full view on the phone. It's really slick. Everything is mobile first since day one, since 3 years ago. So what looks like what some have called it in a nice way, a basic UI. It's actually one of the most functional UIs you'll probably ever use on your mobile device, which is where everything is going. All right, so here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to just say hello as a user on this side here. And we can see here's our chat, right? So hello, how can I assist you today? I'm going to say, I want to make an appointment with Dr. Ryan. Okay, cool. So now it's saying, of course, I can help you with that. Before we could proceed, it's like catching all my words here. Before we can proceed, I need all your name. Now I'm going to delete this number here, which is when I called, I'm going to delete this guy so that we've only got one chat working. So here's our chat. So I'm going to just, it says, of course, I can help you with that. But before we proceed, I need your name, email, and phone number. Now, if I'm an admin of the dentist office and I'm just like, you know what, just give him the appointment link. Cool. From the inbox, we can choose the calendar for Dr. Ryan and just click send link. And now, boom, check this out. You see, we've now got the link to book easily. I can click here. I can see the availability. You can see my calendar's got some slim pickings, baby, some slim availability the next couple months, it looks like. But I can click on, say, Monday of for 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, however long that is. And here's the availability, right? So let's do this. Let's do Monday at 9 a.m. on the 23rd. Book now, right? So we can see the appointment's been made. This appointment will now show up on my calendar. And then if I refresh this screen, I can now see that appointment has been made here, right? But what we want to do is we want to just say, I want to make an appointment with Dr. Ryan again. I was just showing you the link for one way to do it. And you can see this message here that's appeared. This is part of one of the 3 notifications that we built in for you as soon as you've created your calendar. So here's the same question I just sent with a little typo at the end. And I also am now in the inbox when the orange bar is gone. When I type something here, I'm going to click this back on so that the bot's turned on, right? So now I can send this same little message and it'll go through. Boom. I want to make an appointment. So great. To schedule, I need some information. Please provide me your email, phone number, purpose of the visit, and full name. So my name is going to be Ryan Baggott. My phone number is 843. And my email is ryan@baggottsbots.com. All right. Great. So this is exactly what I wanted to happen. What is happening here is she's saying thanks. I'm saying she, he, she, whatever. The AI is saying thanks for providing the information. Let me know the purpose of your visit, because previously she asked for that, but I didn't provide it. I didn't do it on purpose because I wanted to make sure she was going to be forced to ask for this information due to the prompt I've given. Another interesting point here is we will see this information populate once everything has finished here. I'm going to say, I want a teeth cleaning. Boom. And so now we should, thank you for, oops, let's turn this guy off. So now we get the message. Great. Thanks for providing information. It seems that the requested time is not available. It's going off of the requested time. I should explain this based off of my conversation history. It already knows that I've booked at 9. So that's a little nuance. But what we'll do is we'll say, how about 11:30 a.m.? And it's going to accept it. So 11:30 might not be available on my schedule. Let me check my actual calendar and see when we can book this bad boy. Let's see. That date was going to be on the 23rd. Yes, I do got some things going on here. So what we can do, let's check. How about Friday? Let's check Friday's availability here. $9 a.m. Friday. How about that? Great. Your appointment has been made. So that's perfect. We can see the appointment's been made. We're looking forward to seeing you on our dental office, giving you all this information here. When I refresh my screen here, I should be able to see that that appointment is made, right? I can see now there's Ryan Baggott. There's the address of the appointment. This is the basic teeth cleaning. The inbox link here is not going to be visible to your customers. It's only visible to me because I'm signed in as an admin. But I can click this inbox and go straight to the conversation, and I can cancel, reschedule, send them a message, because again, I've got their phone number, and I can just be like, hey, right, this is exactly what you would want. Uh, you, you know, the perfect communication hub. So we made the reservation with AI. We could also make the same thing happen on a phone call. I'll call the number here and we'll see if we can make that happen right now.
Hello there, how can we help you?
I want to make a appointment.
Sure, I can help you with that. Please provide me with the following information. 1. Your full name. 2. Your email address. 3. Your phone number. 4. The purpose of your visit. Once I have this information, I can check for available appointment slots with Dr. Ryan.
Yeah, my name's Rambo Bobbins, and my email's rambo@AOL.
Thank you for providing your name, Rambo Bob Evans. May I have your email address and phone number as well? Additionally, please let me know the purpose of your visit to help me better assist you.
So you get the idea. It's going to extract the information from the phone call in the same exact way as the chat. Now, the one thing I notice here, this should have been synced, but I did not have a +1. And so here, when I called, the discrepancy is going to be a +1 area code or a country code here. Otherwise, these two messages would have been synced, which is the ideal situation. One thing that I think we'll have to introduce as the multi-channel communication goes forward and becomes more of a thing. Imagine just talking to yourself on, or talking to the business on Facebook, and then continuing the conversation via email, then on Instagram, then on, Telegram, This is the idea behind all that. And you have the constant history of the conversation. Then you take it a step further and you pull in from your starter kit the AI summary here. This to me, again, I've talked about it plenty of times, is like my favorite thing of the year, to be able to summarize a conversation and then have the AI recommend next actions. This has genuinely been game changing for us internally and for all of the clients that we do deal with. This template is available standard on all new accounts. You can adjust this however you like. Some things won't necessarily pertain to you and your business or your client. Change this however you would like. Let's think. What else did we have on our list today? Oh, so again, this also works the exact same way on Instagram. Matter of fact, let's look at this on Instagram just so you guys can see. Well, here's my inbox. I'm going to, on my phone here, open up Instagram and I'm going to find the dentist bot. And you're going to know that this is Instagram because of the icon here. We've got, hey there. So just message this page. So we should get a message here on our screen pop in. Perfect. Hey there, how can I assist you? I know this is Instagram, but do you allow customers to make appointments on this channel, or am I going to be forced to call ... I hate calling doctors' offices, especially dentist offices, and would rather make my appointment here, right in the DMs, bro. And so then here, bam, we've got, in this case, we've got what is this here? An AI consulting session. Is that going to be okay? Is that on this account here? Let me check this. Here's my AI consulting sessions. Let's delete this guy. Sometimes I play too much, and that's a funny brain. I think we actually, let's look at that price tag. We're gonna send this again so you can get a fair look. But I was showing someone how we have a super awesome e-commerce system. So we'll send this again, and this time we'll see the answer be returned. Hello, I understand your preference for making appointments through direct messages. I can assist you in booking appointment. Please enter your look at this. So please enter your full name, email, and phone number. And so let's do that. Let's say Ryan Baggott, Ryan at yahoo.com, 843-505-1234. And we'll say my teeth hurt. Those are all the things that the AI requested. Let's see. And I sent that to myself. I sent that. So funny. I sent that to the user. Let's just send it back, reverse that thing. And now we'll get an answer from the bot. I apologize. There's an alternative available. So we need to have the appointment available. What do we want to have the appointment for? Is looking for right now is what it's doing. And it's past time at 7:26. So it's saying you can't come in right now. Because to like prove that, I'll say, so let's look at Friday at 9 a.m. And again, I sent this again as the admin, silly Ryan. We'll send this as the page and we'll see if it'll accept the appointment. Paste, bad boy. So let's send this thing Friday at 9 a.m. is the message that we're sending to the bot. And send. So now we'll get that message here, Friday at 9 a.m. And then it'll say, I apologize. It's already taken up, right? Because we already have that appointment taken here, 9 a.m. So you see, it's already taken for this coming Friday. So instead, we'll say, how about 10 a.m. instead? Let's make it 11 a.m. since we have a buffer there. So how about 11 a.m. and instead? It's going to check that. This is great. A major appointment booked with Dr. Ryan Baggott. And so if I refresh, I should be able to see that appointment has been made, son, which is great. It's basic teeth cleaning. And let's make sure that we're seeing the same thing in the calendar. That's perfect. Let's go to Friday here. Let's see this day right here. So then I'm going to forward this so you can see we got that appointment working. It's coming through. And then this one was for Friday this is for the 13th. Here it is. So great. This is the screenshot of my calendar. So you can see it all coming together. Any day now, Mac. So I'll slide this screenshot of my phone here. Rachel. Boom. And as you can see, y'all see this? Y'all see how fun this is? We see that Dr. Ryan, both appointments made successfully. Just like that. Okay. So again, we've done Instagram, we've done telephone, we've done web. This has been awesome. I think that pretty much covers it here. Was there anything else we wanted to look at? Let's look at my notes here. Y'all can look at my notes. It's okay. I think that was it. Yeah, I'll send an email out here shortly. There's one cool thing that we could look at together. Let's do that. Let's find. Did I make the template here? This will be an interesting one. Cool. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. So right now, I can say something to the bot. I can say, "Hey," right, and it's going to respond. Yeah, how can I help you? Or something generic like that. Unless I'm already paused here, which I might be. Yeah. So let's enable the conversation, and now I can say, "Hey," right. So how can I assist you today? I'm going to say, "What's up?" So then I can see I'm here to help you. I apologize. What it did is it's literally responding to every single thing, right? I can do this. And like maybe you don't want your bot to respond to just crap. So here's how you solve it. What you're going to do is you're going to go to your flows. And in this case, I've got it called default checker. And what we're going to do is usually I keep my flow super simple and it's literally just one block. And the default reply is going to hit. It's going to it's going to take the last response the last input from the user. It's going to send it to OpenAI through an API call that we do for you based off of your prompt here. There's nothing else that I would even really do. But in this case, what we've got going on is we don't want it to respond like there have been a lot of people that if it's just a question mark or double question mark or what's up question mark or just garbage in general, we want to filter that junk right out. So I've done this in a visual way on the flow builders here for you to see. What we're doing here is called prompt chaining. Put your prompt engineer hats on, ladies and gents. This is the big leagues. What we're going to do is first, we're going to run some internal AI. I'm running a tag or I'm running a custom field to check for relevant messages. And I'm going to delete this kind of every time so I can ensure that I'm getting a fresh look of a real analyzation of the actual content in question. So this is the first thing in the flow. I'm clearing out a custom field, right? And the second action is going to be the OpenAI action. And the instructions are number 1, 2, and 3. 1, alphanumeric check. Strip the messages of spaces and punctuation. If it's empty, it's not valuable. Length check. If the message is high, unless the message is high, if the cleaned message has 2 or fewer characters, it's not valuable. So basically anything that's under 2 characters, we're not caring about that message. Essentially, is the goal. Number 3, judgment. If the message clears both checks, it's valuable. Otherwise, it's not. This alone probably would not be able to achieve your end result. Period. Like, as smart as this GPT 3.5 is, I don't think it could do it. On the other hand, GPT 4 could probably do it most of the time. But the trick here, prompt engineering in the right way, proper prompt engineering. And I know I say it all the time, but the power is in the prompt. This is not a pun. This is not a joke. The power is in the prompt. So if you include examples, especially in this format, this is like messing with a lot of developers' heads right now. They just don't fully grasp this. That's okay. That's okay. Y'all get it. You're all are here getting the real value. And this is a real value. This will solve your many, many problems. This one thing, this is called show and tell. Show examples along with telling the bot. This is like the ultimate secret sauce. You got your instructions and the examples. This is what is going to the assistant, the chatbot knows its role. It knows its lane. Okay. What I can't remember the catchphrase right now, but there's a funny one about knowing your role, right? Maybe someone's saying it in the comments. Play the role, play the part, whatever. I'm not hip on the pop culture anymore. I'm old now. User assistant. It's false, true, true, false, false. It's understanding what with just that simple pattern. Okay, I'm the assistant, I'm the chatbot. I need to answer with a true or a false. This is my goal. And so if we know that we can consistently, and this is the thing, like we are so gangster with the AI, y'all, we don't need to waste time and money and effort and energy fine tuning. I mean, for some things it could be necessary. I've not come across many. In this case, this is going to solve 99% of everyone's issue. In this case, we're just not wanting to respond to duplicate messages. But if you apply this concept of defining what you want your output to be and you can consistently count on it, then you can start using things like a condition block. You can find your condition blocks here, right? And in this case, we're like breaking the rules of traditional flow-based chatbots by using the natural language output as a parameter to check against. But what we're doing is we're saving, to be clear, we're saving the output that we get as relevant message, and it is going to be true or false. That will be what is saved. That's the value of this custom field. So it's analyzing the messages and it's saying, true or false. This condition block's only job is to check, is the output contain the word true or does it contain the word false? It ain't going to contain both. One or the other. And so if it contains true, meaning it's a meaningful message, no worries. What we're going to do is we're going to respond as if these two blocks weren't even there and it's just giving you the message. However, if you see a question mark or something with one letter or a duplicate response, something of this nature, then it'll get filtered out and there'll be no response. This is the best way to do it. Do not try to force a wait period. That's what a lot of people have said. Ryan, can you make a way or tell me how I can wait for the user to do something twice? We can't fix bad communication and chat skills. Like that is a user facing problem. And that was like where I was leaving it. But after the seventh or eighth person asked me this, and it's one of our first original OG users asked me this, I was like, all right, I got to stop everything what I'm doing. I'm going to try to solve this right now because I know I can. AI has not been able to not solve most every problem I've brought it so far. And so I knew it would solve this one. And here's the real secret sauce. I used freaking ChatGPT to give me the answer because I could have thought about this puzzle myself. It might have taken a lot longer than a couple seconds, but what I've learned, not to rely on the AI necessarily to get a specific end result, but to get me to where I can get to the end result quickly on my own. And so whenever you do face a problem, even if it's something super specific to your business and your flow and whatever you're trying to do, you can always come to us. But even ChatGPT itself, if you can actually explain the problem well enough and provide an example of what your desired outcome should be, I think you'd surprise yourself at what you'd be able to unlock. And this is one of the most recent unlocks of yesterday or 2 days ago. So let's test this out. We can see that it's not turned on here. But when I go over here to my settings section and I turn off the default reply here and instead turn on the default reply checker, which is the flow that we've been working on, now it should work. So first I'm going to say, hey there. Now I'm going to get a response. I should get a response here. Let's say, actually, let's say, where are you located? Should see a good response here. Or not. Why don't we see our response? Where are you located? Oops. Hi. All right, cool. So I see we're Gucci there. Let's go back to this flow and make sure I've got this thing published correctly in the right way. Yes. So clear. Good, good. All that looks good. Let's hit preview here. And we should see a message come through if one is valuable. I'm going to say dentist hours. Let's actually turn this guy off here. And let's say if it contains true, let's say doesn't contain true. Let's just see if I'm going crazy here. Let's preview this bad boy one more again. So we get a note. It's like looking for a response. There we go. So in this case, the relevant message contains true. It didn't contain true. Let's see what it did contain. When I go to the inbox, I can see that it doesn't show relevant date. So we don't see anything there. So let's work on this guy for a second. This might help us all. Default checker wasn't published too. So again, here's our relevant message. Relevant message is being saved. Then we're going here and we're saying, what does it contain? Does it contain true or not? If it doesn't contain true, let's make this a different custom field just to do it. Let's make this be, let's call this checker. Custom field is going to be checker. And it's looking for true or false, right? So that's good, the checker. What we'll do here is we're going to remove this custom field. And we're going to go clear the custom field for checker. And put that guy here. And the relevant message, if it contains true, will respond. And this should work. So now it's going to, the last thing I sent was where are you located. So let's hit preview here and web chat again. Let's see if we get a response here. No response there. So if we switch this guy, I may just have my thoughts switched. Let's go publish here, preview here, and we'll go. And now we see there's going to be a response that pumps out. There it is. All right. So we had my little my cross wires switched up. Is there anything else we want to check on? The AI summary. I think we'll show you that, and then I think that'll be it for today. The starter kit, AI summary here. What this is going to do is it's going to check everything related to the conversation, right? And so this is being sent as a notification to admins. Instead, let's just make this go to ourselves so that we can just see it. Instead, we'll just like pop it in the inbox. So what I'll do here is make a text block here. Bam. And now I should hit publish and preview, and we can preview in the web chat. And we should get our summary right here. No information were provided in the conversation. Okay, so now we can have a conversation and then like make this really work. So let's go here. And first of all, let's switch back. I'm going to switch back to my regular little default reply, so I can make sure I'm seeing it all in the same window. Hello. And then we'll go to our inbox and watch the conversation. We'll say, where are you located? Who is the dentist? Right. And I'll say, services offered. Right. And now we will get the services. Great. And so now we can go to our icon here to send a flow. We can send ourselves the AI summary flow. And now we should be able to see a summary of just the few questions that we asked. we got to make a small adjustment here. Let's go to the flow, and what we'll do is we'll say, might be one thing I missed here. All right. We'll say this, based on our conversation, fill in the following. All right. So that's what we'll say for the user message. And here we're going to say, for Ryan's dentist office. All right. And we'll say, capture, evaluate, and derive insights from the last conversation, ending in, and we'll say last input. And now that's should be a lot better. Let's hit continue here and hit publish, and I think we should get a better result. No information. Why, baby? Why? I'm getting all the notifications. So let's do this here. Let's do this. Let's put everything up here. Sometimes it's just a little bit of trial and error, baby. Sometimes this is what it is. All right. So I'm going to say provide the summary of this conversation. All right. Cool. So let's try that bad boy. And what we'll do to play it extra safe, let's go to this inbox here. And this is the AI summary. We're going to delete this bad boy. And now we'll come back and we'll send it again to ourselves. And that should do it. I want to see a good summary. That's what I want. Didn't provide this, therefore the summary just can't be provided. Let's try one more time. Okay, here's what we can do. This is what a lot of people have asked for anyways. What we can do is this. Let's go to this default checker and we'll just make this a one step. Let's go here and let's do end chat. End chat. This is definitely a good way to do it. Save, and then we're going to open up a new flow. Oops, not an action. Let's open up a new flow, and that'll be the AI summary flow. So what will happen now is we should see this in chat button every time that we send a message. We're just going to turn off this guy, save, and then let's just to be safe, let's clear conversation with OpenAI because I don't want it to like read prior conversation history summaries because it'll confuse it potentially. But I'll say, hey, I'll say, we've got our in chat icon here. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to say, where are you located? Who is the, so we're back to just the main AI language prompt, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go to flows here, default checker. And I think we got no business information in there, which isn't a huge deal. But let's just say you're a helpful assistant for Ryan's dentist office. Bam. All right, cool. So you're the helper for Ryan's dentist office. Who are you? Who are you? I should say you're the helper now. What was my last question? Who are, yep, who do you work for? Should see this answer now. Let's hit preview and let's see if that'll force the answer. Nope. So we're going to clear the conversation. Whenever you get a result that you don't expect after you've made a change, the most common thing you need to do is just clear that conversation. You don't have to delete the deal, but now it should show. if we've saved everything correctly and done everything correctly, it should say something. Yeah. So I work for Ryan's dentist office. You see how that clear message just works? It's reading from the past messages to give a better answer. So now I'll say, who is Ryan? He's the dentist, right? Ryan is either the name of the dentist or the owner. Is there anything specific you want to know? What do dentists do? I think we'll try to end the conversation here. We'll say, okay, thanks. Now we should be able to end this conversation and then get the summary. End chat. There we go. There's a summary. There's the payoff that we needed, boy. The user inquired about the identity of Ryan, the dentist, right? And then there's no further action. The user's query has been addressed. So it's always with a little bit of trial and error with this stuff. But once you've got it working the way you want, that is where the automation side of this whole game comes into play. The AI is the problem-solving tool, and the automation is what makes this actually consistently valuable throughout. Let's see. Do we have any questions on this stuff that I could potentially answer before we jump off of here? Oh, we got a lot of chat stuff going on. Sorry, I wasn't looking at this earlier. All right. Let's see. So yeah, thanks for the congrats on the 4,000. That's awesome. And for Meta, thanks, Ryan. Now, Ryan is a OG himself. He's tearing it up in Discord, which is a poppin' community. Thanks to Asta, the man, Fiji AI King. Then we've got, what do we got here? This person said, I'm loving it. I've got a question. When I use a trigger to allow users to book an appointment by giving their full names, details, some other parameters, I face two problems. What are the problems that you face, man? It doesn't show me here. DM us and we'll help you. It'll be easy peasy. Don't you worry. What's this say? Yeah, see, man, I didn't even read that comment, Ryan. I was already telling people you're the Discord man. Okay, so here's Bridget. What's up, Bridget? I saw you. You seem like you have a lot of experience with this chat marketing game. We've got 2 Facebook pages, can both be connected to one account. So the way our hierarchy works, our structure is you connect to our application and you choose at least one channel, web chat, for instance, or maybe Facebook. A profile is created. Within your profile, you can create as many accounts for bots as you like. Each account can connect to one channel a piece, like all channels, but to one connection. So you can't have 2 phone numbers. You can't have for one account. So say you're working for Nike, for instance. You're the bot builder for Nike. In the case you've got one Facebook page for Nike, you've got one account with us for Nike. But that same account for Nike, their Facebook page that's connected to their Instagram, you're connecting. That costs nothing extra. A phone number for text messaging or phone calls, you can connect a phone number for each of those channels. Only one. Same with Telegram. So think of one brand, one account for any channel that you want to connect with. You're building a database essentially. You're using all of your channels to build and communicate with your database. That's the best way to describe it. That is what the ultimate goal here is, to unify all of the communication for a business in one central place. So you wouldn't want to have 2 businesses using the same phone number, for example. This wouldn't work. If they're calling business A, but then business B was to answer, this would be a horrible experience. So that's the way that kind of works. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Ryan. Yeah, so they're laughing at that. I laugh at that too. Okay, here's the 2 problems, it looks like. Oh no, it's just telling us you have to. Okay, ChatGPT doesn't handle over 3 user details. It repetitively asks for already provided information. So here's a really cool tip that I hope will help a lot of people. Basically, whenever you experience your chatbot that's running AI do something that you don't want it to do, genuinely the best thing that you could do is take your prompt, put it in actual like Chat GPT, paste it in there and say, hey, my chatbot is doing this, and I don't want it to do that. And instead, I'd like the result to be this. If you can do that little equation there, that magic trick, you're a prompt master, man. Prompt mastermind, masterman, whatever. It'll totally solve most problems instantly. Even better than I could or any human out there for now. But if it's repeating something, that to me seems like it would probably be a logic problem or a prompt problem. A logic problem meaning like it's not going forward, it's moving backwards or just repeating itself like in a loop. But this should be like a super simple, easy solve, and you never think about it again, and you never have this problem again once you see. Could you expand? What's this say? Could you expand on what you'll potentially limiting the agency? Yes. So right now there are 50 accounts that are included, and we're thinking, especially we've got some heavy DMers out there, which is a stressful thing on a server. Our servers lost you there for a second. Sorry about that. I hope you guys can still hear me. All right. So this says, let me make sure I get this answered correctly here. Show it. It says, yeah. So it repeatedly asks, I think this is a logic problem. I think it should be easily solved. Then this person says, 12, Seth, 12. Can you, yeah. So I think that will probably end up limiting the number of included accounts to essentially account for extreme heavy usage, which most accounts are not like extreme, like they're not millions of followers. But in the case, like we get some celebrities that definitely want to have, mass message of, abilities, like this is not the ideal customer, someone that's going to have millions of followers. That's not like really who we want to help. We want to help businesses. Business messaging is our main goal. Now, we hope you get to a million. We hope you get to a million followers if that's your goal. But the business model changes a little bit if there's millions and millions of messages per account per day. Like this is something that like it's not the ideal thing at that price point. So let's see. I love the emojis here. It's all good. Facebook, awesome. Ryan, never used it on mobile yet. Yes, once you use this bad boy on mobile, like you'll never want to use another tool that doesn't allow you to work on mobile because it just restricts you. And the last thing that you want is to like be out and about and then a catastrophe happen of some sort, and you got to change something and you like need a computer. Like, this sucks. What are you going to do? Like, keep a computer around with you at all times? This is not feasible. I wonder if spam bots can be an issue here with booking. I don't know about that. I don't think there's at least at any sort of scale, there's no bot that will book an appointment to get all through the process. I don't believe there's enough like gates, I guess you could say, to handle that. Man, this is Keith. You're the one killing it, Keith. My OG builder out here repping Canada. Multiple calendars on one business, yes. So possible to see both availabilities. This would be not something shown in a conversational format up front yet without a good prompt. If you include in your prompt something gangster there, you could potentially make it work, especially if you used account fields versus just an account field versus just a system field or a bot field. An account field could potentially do this and do it really well. In fact, the AI is so good. During our test, we saw that an account field could accommodate almost everything related to this scheduling outside of seeing the calendar events that were not booked by the bot. The bot would never get anything wrong if it was the only appointment maker on the whole calendar. But because you've got events coming in from different entry points, that's the one thing the AI can't handle alone because it just can't see your calendar. We've got the ability to check your calendar, but this is an API call, an API call that is not going to be able to be done so fast in a way in the conversation beforehand. It's going to be able to check it and return something nice. We've built in something to handle this. So for instance, if your customer asked, hey, do you got a 9:30 appointment and there wasn't one available, when we do return that, sorry, we don't have one available, we do try to show at least 2 additional options that would be close together. But this is logic that's difficult to make easy. But that's a great question. Let's see what else we got. And so we had he run into that as well. And what was it that we were running into? Doesn't handle over the 3 user details. Okay, so this one doesn't handle over the 3 user details. So in this case, it's going to be a prompt issue, but it'll be able to be solved. The best thing, probably what's happening here, is you must be sure that in your prompt, you have this spelled out perfectly. So if you're collecting something like full name, job details, and job address, you need to specify that in the instructions. And even better yet, underneath there, have a little conversation example of user assistant. User, hey, I want to have this food delivered to my house today at 12:30. If what you needed to have was, the food name, the time, and the address, like right underneath, you would have these parameters kind of listed, looking very similar to the window that I showed you where you're defining your parameters and matching them up with the custom fields. If you were to, in your prompt, kind of match that up with natural language, I think you're all set. It'll work every time. And if it doesn't, just reach out and we'll try to help you even further. Is there anything else we need to check before we're out of here? Great stream, learned a lot. Yeah, this was a big one. Paging Dr. Ryan. I hope someone said this whenever my computer died just now. Like, totally just wasn't plugged in. And Mac is so gangster. At least I think I'm still on. I could be talking to myself right now. But on that note, guys, it's been a fun one. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you learned a lot. And again, thank you guys so much from all across the world for choosing our platform to build on. We're going to be here for the long run. When you go on that Google tool, or you go to any chat bot out there for your searching needs, I absolutely want you to know that ChatbotBuilder.ai is going for that #1 spot across the board. And we want to provide the best service, the best technology, easiest to use. We've got so many fun things on the way. If you want a secret little hint on what to expect, I would highly suggest researching the capabilities of Bard 2. The Google ecosystem is very powerful. But with that, guys, I think that's it. It's your hint. Really appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a great day. And again, thanks for 4,000 on YouTube. I've connected with so many of you, and I can't wait to connect with many more. And we've got a lot of fun things in store. Thank y'all so much.